here on the far west side of Chelsea, 9th Avenue, between 18th and 19th. The restaurant's called Salinas. It's a great new addition to Spanish cuisine in the city, and this area has kind of become a hub for Spanish cuisine. This is great stuff, and this isn't like the new molecular gastronomy Spanish cuisine. This is like old school Basque country. I'm loving this guy. Luis is the chef. I've become a big fan of this restaurant. We're gonna spend the day with him. We're gonna do some demos, eat some great food, lots of pulpo, lots of squid, lots of pork, maybe some gazpacho, we'll see. Spain is what's on the menu. I'm Mike Colameco, chef and food lover. Come with me and meet some of today's most interesting chefs and their crews that work in their kitchens. Real chefs, real restaurants, and real recipes. That's what's on the menu. This is Mike Colameco's Real Food. So today's restaurant is Salinas, an homage to many a lovely visit to coastal Spain by its two owners, Donald and Mary Catherine McCula, and their chef, Luis Bolo. Luis is originally from San Sebastian, and while he's versed in molecular techniques that so often define modern Spanish cooking, his food here is really straight roots. It's great. It speaks to the Basque region. I'm here with Luis. How are you?
Very well, and you?
Great. Thanks for coming to New York and opening up this restaurant, first of all.
Thank you very much.
What got you into cooking? When did you decide as a young kid that was playing soccer and riding around on a moped and chasing girls that you wanted to cook?
I mean, born in Basque country in San Sebastian, and considering the Basque country and especially San Sebastian have more Michelin stars than any other city in the world, really just, make me just think that maybe that was my profession.
I love this dish. So pasta comes to Spain through Italy at some point, and you guys get this stuff, and you're looking at it and you're saying, what do we do with this? And the chefs start to talk, well, it's like rice, right? So we're going to kind of treat it like we do rice. So this dish, you actually get really decent angel hair pasta, and you toast it in the pan.
Yes.
Crazy.
We toasted the pan. In Spain, we have actually two kinds of pastas. One is called fideos or fideuà, and the other one is fideo rosellat. That is the roasted fideos, roasted pasta, and it's the one that we are going to make today. Smell this. Don't burn it. See?
Like almost nutty, kind of.
Yes, after being cooked a little bit here to the oven is what I'm going to do now, okay?
This way it's easier and more gentle.
Yes. This will be the sepia. What we do is just with plastic film, we can make a little kind of roll here. After these be frozen, the outcome of this will be a frozen piece of sepia that can be sliced very thin. So we just have a little bit of the sepia in one hand, sofrito.
Fish stock.
Yeah, fish stock. We'll add a little bit of squid ink. The pasta.
And you're cooking it right in there.
We are going to take the paella pot and we will just put it in the convection oven. After 3 minutes, the pasta, you see, is dry, dark, skin on top. So we have here some eggs, like 5 eggs. I think it's just 5 eggs and 3 yolks. We add a little bit of mustard. Traditionally, we didn't have mustard. We just have vinegar, but I think it tastes better. We have a little bit of garlic.
A close of garlic. So now we've got the egg yolks going with the acid, and we just start real easy to drizzle in the oil.
So this is done. Here we have the base. I want just to add a little bit of chopped watercress, a little bit of alioli, and we are not cooking this anymore. We're just mixing. We have a little bit of the sepia here
that we cut frozen. So this is paper thin.
Yes. Yeah. I don't really want to cook it 100%, right?
That's beautiful. It's just the sauce is just enough really to bind it. All right. Now we've got this just barely set.
And we're gonna finish it up
with the aioli foam.
With aioli foam. A little bit of the garlic tips. And why not? A little bit of the pasta, yes, and that. What about a little bit of molecular gastronomy and have a little bit of beets powder?
Just for color.
Just for color. You're gonna like this one.
Got a little squid, little foam. What is in this that makes it so good? And the answer is not just lots of things. Great ingredients,
yes,
and a whole bunch of layers of technique. This is delicious.
Yes.
The kind of cuisine you're doing is very different. I think when people think of Spanish cuisine now, they're thinking of spherification and foam and dots and magic and almost alchemy. What you're doing is really ingredient driven, straightforward.
The press is just talking about Ferrari, it's talking about molecular cuisine, and there are certain expectations that young Spanish chefs should make just molecular cuisine. So I felt that between tapas and just the molecular cuisine, there's just a lot to say. What we want just to do in Salinas is just to actually bring the seasonal and Spanish cuisine and the regional cuisine. That doesn't mean that when I think it's necessary, I can use a little touch here and there of the molecular cuisine, because I work in a Michelin star with a guy like Martin Berasategui, is the guy that have more Michelin star in all Spain, and I can do it, and we can do it, and sometimes we do it, but the center of the plate, this is what we care about. We care about seasonal cuisine here. We have local baby greens, some local pickles, and a cured tuna that is cured with cumin, sea salt, sugar, and a little bit of honey.
The way that we cook, we shake it to cook a la minute the tuna inside of it.
This is a colazy cauliflower. It's Greek yogurt with mint, cumin, a little bit of orange zest, a little bit of citrus juice. Comes with confit Brussels sprouts and broccoli flour and a little bit of white cauliflower and a little bit of smoked pimenton on top.
Beautiful vegetarian starter. It's delicious.
I just want to show a little bit of Salinas' approach to make gazpachos. Using tomatoes, bread, onions, vinegar, and cucumbers. But there's a lot more in this gazpacho.
Right, I'm seeing you've got lobster stock here.
And what we have inside here is a little bit of all the guts of the
Coral and tamale.
all the coral.
Has great flavor.
Mix it here with the alioli, and will give a very special flavor to the gazpacho. We have a little bit of English cucumbers, little tomatoes, yellow peppers, spring onions. So sweet.
And the bread's there to thicken and for texture, but for thickening a little bit?
Yes. And what else? We're gonna add a little bit of Castilian pine nuts that, let me tell you, are very expensive, but I think that make the difference. That's why I put it. Of course, sea salt. And then with a small proportion of alioli again. So I'm gonna add a little bit of stock. Go slowly.
It's a beautiful color.
Yes.
So again, these are the ingredients that were in it. We have the cucumber, we have the onion that just cut a little bit smaller, we have some croutons that she's made out of the bread.
Yes.
Some smaller tomatoes, cherry
Absolutely.
tomatoes. Set them out.
But that is a nice garnish because give a little bit of texture to the broth.
That's it, spring.
We can finish it out with a little bit of Savin olive oil here. And that's it.
I'm just gonna go for the broth first, if you don't mind.
Yes.
That's great. That's great. That's delicious.
And it's refreshing,
it's
it's
such a-
healthy.
Yeah.
And it's another way to eat vegetables, what is very important to us. You know how many people try to eat vegetables these days and there's no way. So this is a good way.
This is great. We're here with Donald McCullough.
Hey.
Half the ownership, you and your
yeah.
beautiful wife have this restaurant, so I'm always curious to how these things happen. So
Yeah.
what brought you into this business? What were you doing before?
I've been doing hair and makeup for like 30 years. Started with Vidal Sassoon, and then started doing more freelance work, some celebrity work, Victoria's Secrets, things of that sort. Mary Kath and I, we just loved hosting people. We were doing a lot of dinner parties, and we said I would love to have this.
But that's a real leap of faith. Let me tell you, it's one, having been a chef all my life, it's like, I can tell you, so many people think, they'll ask me, oh, I'd love having friends over to show up in a restaurant. I'm like, no. Having friends over, cooking for 8 or 10 people in a controlled environment is one thing. This is something else. But you guys like have a home run right off the bat.
Yeah, we're very fortunate.
So you found a space, you live above the store.
Yeah.
Talk about why the Spanish thing too. Because that was something you had in mind from the
Yeah.
beginning. Because what?
Well, about 8 years ago, we went to Spain, and we just fell in love with it. It was a very magical time to be there. The passion, the culture, the food, the music, and it became a love letter to Spain.
And the name. Talk about the name. Because there's
Salinas,
some
yeah.
people think Salinas is Bobby McGee somewhere near Salinas. I let her slip away, but that's California.
Well, the first year that we went to Spain, we went to Ibiza, or Ibiza as the Spaniards say, and we rented a house overlooking Salinas. And it was magical because the sun set on these salt flats, and it was just a breathtaking view. And we just sit there at night and have these dinner parties, and we actually had a chef that came a few nights and cooked for us, a friend of a friend's, and we were just like, this is just magical, you know? And the name stuck.
Then the chef, because this is another story. It's funny, you know, how everybody does this stuff.
Yeah.
So you went sort of this old-fashioned way, which
Yeah.
is you actually got a headhunter,
Yeah.
an industry guy.
Yes.
Talk a bit about it.
We wanted somebody that really understood the culture, who would really bring the passion of Spain, not just somebody who's cooking Spanish food.
Right.
And when we met Chef, from the minute we walked in, his hospitality and his energy and just the way he welcomed us, and the food was just mind-blowing.
If it was so easy, if it was just, oh, you get an investor or two when you hire a good chef, and then they'll get... It's not. It's this whole thing of getting people to play together well.
That's what really I get the juice from, is to get a great team together and really work together. We set goals for ourselves, you know, to get the 2 stars with the New York Times, to get best of, to hopefully one day get a Michelin star, is just what really drives us in a way where we really want to separate ourselves. We want to really be looked at as one of the top restaurants in New York.
What do you think? Turn the tree.
And so, married how long?
13 years.
13 years.
Yeah.
Your wife's in the business with you. That's never so easy, is it?
It gets better and better. I mean,
Cool.
we just love being together. We just, you know, some couples would probably say, I need a break. You
Yeah.
know, I need a week off from you. But it's like, wow, I really just love the fact that we have this restaurant, that we're living upstairs, that we're living this dream.
We're
right
living
now.
the dream.
It's a big plate of food, chef. I'm with Dominic Maeda, so you're the right-hand guy.
Yes.
Talk a bit, 'cause, I mean, I constantly emphasize people, restaurants, I mean, chef, sure, it is the chef, it's his vision. Obviously, it's his story, he's Spanish, got the owner. But you've been with Dominic for how long?
I've been with Luis for 10 years.
Luis, you're Dominic. Luis, for 10 years. I mean, that's crazy. And pretty much straight out of cooking school.
Basically, I was actually doing my internship at San Domenico, and the grill cook was reading Wine Spectator, and all of a sudden he pulled to this guy, Luis Boyo. He was out in New Haven, Connecticut, and I said, I gotta go work with this guy.
One of the things you do is a suckling pig here every day. We're gonna
Yep.
see that tonight?
Oh yeah.
That was in the oven earlier? That was
Yeah,
in
that was in the oven. We cooked that for about 12 to 14 hours in pork stock, a lot of herbs. Cooked that overnight, and then basically to order, we roast them in the oven.
This is just a 12-hour oven roasted suckling pig. It's served with just simple salad of watercress, pickled red onions. It's finished with honey and rosemary reduction. We use a little bit of the broth of the suckling pig in order to finish the sauce. Now, okay? Yeah, right away.
Suckling pig, man. Just like confit. It's like eating butter. Forgive my fingers, but I'm in the kitchen. Here we've got a little meat on the inside, skin. The meat's like very slow cooked, so it's confit. It's a wonderful sauce, the reduction of the braising liquid. I mean, it's just spectacular. Sorry about my fingers, but. This is so, everything here looks so, I mean, this is exactly how I love to eat.
Now, the difference between Mediterranean pulpo and Galician pulpo
It's big.
is just the thickness of the eye and the size of this octopus. So we are gonna leave it cooking for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, guys, it's been a half an hour. The octopus is done. We've shocked it in ice water to completely stop the cooking. And now we're gonna play around.
To begin with, you can see just the
It's the way the knife goes through it. It's like butter.
yes, very generous slices. So here we have
Potatoes that are Idaho potatoes.
Idaho
peeled,
potatoes,
cut.
peeled cut, and we're gonna poach it.
And that's the octopus cooking liquid.
Yes, we take the onions.
So it's like a little sachet bag
Yes,
to add that flavor to the onions.
yes, just like a little bag with the combination of garlic, a little bit of thyme, bay leaf, black peppercorn, a little bit of onions, and a little bit of white wine. This is all about sweetness. I want to create a little bit of acidity, sweetness. So what we do is just have a little bit of orange juice, honey. Of course, we are gonna help a little bit with this vinegar, salt, and of course, a little bit of olive oil. And I will keep it marinated for about 4 hours. Spanish paprika, bell peppers.
Roasted peeled bell peppers.
Yes. Let's put 1 clove of garlic, maybe a cumin. Here we have a little bit of, this is a cava vinegar. This is a version of champagne vinegar. We need
Olive
a little
oil.
bit of extra virgin olive oil. Needs a bit of salt. It's spicy. The more cumin.
Grandmom didn't have a Vitamix. How did they make this before Vitamix?
Let me tell you, they had to use what Mexicans call the molcajete. They
Yeah,
had
mortar
just
and pestle.
Yes.
That's right. That's it.
This is what they had to
Old
do.
school.
We have our octopus. It was boiled, and we just actually slice down. Here we have our caramelized onions.
Caramelized onions that went down all the way. The sauce that you just made in the Vitamix.
Yes.
Again, lots and lots of flavor, some heat.
And then here we have,
Potatoes we've just cut out with a ring mold.
Yes.
So we've cooked them. They're that color because they picked up the octopus.
yes, we're gonna just have a little bit of this caramelized onion. And what we're gonna do is just take a little bit of the pickleness of this onion, just put it on top.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good feeling.
That's
to
a lot
find.
of flavor already right there on those potatoes, man.
We're gonna pounce here to get a little more flavor of the pulpo. Our little bit of paprika, a little bit more spiciness. Oh,
God, it smells great. I mean, I'm getting the smell of literally the octopus off the grill, but also that smoky pimento.
We'll have a little bit of our sauce, and we'll finish it up with
Pinch sea salt.
a little bit of green.
Get a real
to-
pretty.
Done.
This is why we love this kind of food, because it's looks easy, but it isn't so easy to make. At home, not so easy to make. But you come out to a restaurant like this, and it's just like game on. All right, I'm gonna have a nibble.
Really, the caramelized onions and octopus work well too. So let me check it. And the spiciness of
Spectacular, spectacular.
it's a good combination.
Luis Polo,
Hey, how are you?
love your restaurant. I still remember, it's funny, restaurants, I don't know, I have to say this, kind of like women. I remember first time I was at your restaurant, eating great meal, and I got to the middle of that one course, and it was at night, and it was a little getting darker, and I need glasses. And this plate came, and it was black. And I put my fork in, and I'm like, what am I eating? This is so ridiculous. And my friend asked, what is this? And put glasses on and went in with that squid dish. Amazing. I mean, I have not had a bad plate of food at your restaurant.
Yes, I think that
Salinas, 9th Avenue, 18th and 19th?
yes.
Tremendous
exactly.
restaurant. So I asked you to come in today to do a little demo. This is a demo. Tell me about it. You brought quail. Talk to me about this dish. Walk me through.
We are gonna do a little tapa here. Today we're gonna make a little bigger because we are in the crowd, like 3 or 4 guys. Everybody had to eat a little bit. So what we are doing today is just codornices con ciruelas. That will be quail with plumes. The quail itself is just very lean.
Yep.
So we need to actually wrap it up with some fat and some, flavor to really just can make
Give it
a
some
good combination, right?
Because quail's really super lean, super
Yes.
kind of, it's not bland, but it's lean, needs fat. So,
Yeah.
and quail and bacon's perfect.
So see, this is one of the aperitivos or tapas that we have in the menu, and I think that what is important to us is just to, as a Spanish restaurant, we want just to keep it as authentic as possible, but at the same time, I have a believer of using local ingredients, and I work with the farmers, working with people that put the same input in their job
Same
and
love,
passion
same
that
soul.
we
Yeah.
do, right? And I think that, most of the chefs agree on that. And
Yeah, this guy, so the farmer is in Griggstown, middle of New Jersey. Great farm. Been there forever. Great chicken, great poultry.
And they do a lot of stuff. They do, right now, they have vegetables, they do pies, they do a lot of stuff. It's fun, just go in on Sunday and, check what he has, and it's really great.
And the ingredients in America have really come a long way in the last 25
Definitely.
years. I mean, it's leaps and bounds from what it used to be in the 90s.
I can tell you, I just came 90, 95, and it was just so difficult.
It was tough, right?
I really had to cook in a different way because
Yeah.
going with my mother every week, at least once a week when I was a kid, to the farmer's market. It was just part of the day. It's not like, it's not fashionable. You know
That's
what
what you did. It's how you it's how you lived.
It's the way that
Yeah.
you buy, right? So, and then just came to the United States, and it was just, you got to get things from
A truck.
the buyer,
Yeah,
truck,
that's right.
and
I think I know where the toothpicks come in.
yeah.
And with the carcasses, you make a stock.
Yeah, I do a lot of things. So you know, and
got
I'm old-fashioned
Yeah.
for keeping.
Why waste anything?
Yes. It's important that actually the fries, all the juices actually stay inside.
It's hot.
Bubbling.
So now, how are we going to assemble the rest of these ingredients?
Okay, so what we're going to do now is just actually saute just the spring onions with a little bit of lardons that we actually will take it out because I don't want
Right.
just to put more bacon, but I want just to give a little bit of the flavor.
So
of
we'll
the
get the bacon fat.
Yes, and I will add a little bit of garlic, sage, the mushrooms, and of course the plumes. That are going to be maybe the first thing that we add. Okay, so we have the plumes here, the bacon, we have the sage, the mushrooms. Then we can start just
Head over to the stove.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, let's let it render out. All right, so we got the bacon rendered. You can see the bacon fat. It's a little bit smaller. We've got some bacon fat in that
Yes.
pan.
So you're gonna just take this out.
Now we're going to put our fruit in. And the onions, we just want to get some nice color on them.
Yes. And salt always helps to cook everything.
Bring out flavors.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's been about 4 or 5 minutes in the pan. We're going
Yeah.
nice and easy. We've got some color already.
You see, it's
Fruit's
just
caramelized.
It's caramelized. We're gonna add now mushrooms. Those are oysters on any of the goods. You're gonna add a little bit of
Pinch of garlic.
yes. A little bit more of oil, sage, any kind of fresh wine. What are you gonna do actually?
So we don't overcook the fruit.
Yes. So we can maybe just take just the skewers out of the
Gotcha.
wow. And we are gonna add this syrup.
So it's like a sherry glaze right
Yes.
now.
Yes. And ready to go.
Beautiful.
We can add peaches now. So using my fingers, but really
Hey, we cook with our fingers all the time, right? That's why we have them, no?
Is the tool.
That's
Is the tool.
So we've got bacon wrapped around this quail. Quail's going to be good to begin with. Now it's got that glaze all around it. I
Yes.
mean, you know this is like going to be flavor cubed.
Yes. This is what Salinas is about at the end of the day. Just try
Yeah,
just to.
that's what Salinas is about. Basil oil.
So I have this salt.
I was wondering what on earth that was.
Pink pepper and paprika salt.
Wow.
And actually, I think the paprika is such a Spanish ingredient that actually with all those plums that are kind of reddish, it's gonna work pretty well. But the reduction.
It's a pretty plate of food, man. That's restaurant food. All right, it's the time of the show. I always taste food at the end of the show, Chef, so forgive me
You have to.
for being rude here, but this is the idea.
Yes.
So I've got one of the drumstick thigh combos.
Yeah.
Oh. You know, layers and layers of flavor. It's beautiful.
Yes.
It's really, really beautiful. It's a beautiful plate of food to look at.
Yeah.
Great plate of food to eat. You can use your fingers in that
Yes.
style of tapas and small plates.
Yes.
Luis Bolo,
Yeah.
chef at Salinas, really one of the great Spanish restaurants. I think not just in New York, but in
Yeah.
America.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate it coming from you. Really.
No,
I
we're
appreciate it.
glad to have you in New York City, man. I have, like I said, I only do restaurants I love, and I've not had a bad plate of food at your restaurant. There's just so much love that comes out of that kitchen onto the plates. It really shows. Thanks a lot for.
Thank you very much for coming and try Salinas.
No, try Salinas, 9th Avenue, 19th Street in Chelsea. It's fantastic.
Try Salinas. Thank you.
Till next week.